Hi Pisces, here is a general look at your solar chart for April 2016, and there's a lot about what you value, what something's worth is, and practical thinking this month, but also it looks like quite a sociable time as well, lots of connecting with others and maybe possibly more paperwork. Now then, we have a few things going on across the globe. So we've got Uranus and Pluto action over the Sun. That's up until the 12th. So that can be a certain amount of moving and shifting in that financial area of yours, and maybe to do with property. Maybe not to do with that. Maybe to do with another kind of resource or equipment or. It can also be to do with, your sort of your feed, your income feed. So incomings, outgoings, that kind of thing. And how much something or someone connected, related to that is worth to you. Mars is close by degree to Neptune all month. I'll get to that in a minute. But there is going to be a new moon in Aries, which is in this very area of your piggy bank, the property, and assets of various kinds, whether those are material objects like possessions or whether those are your inborn talents. And then we've got that unfurling itself over the subsequent month from April the 7th. So this one is conjuncting Uranus. So, don't take your eye off the ball, really, is what I would say. There's also some Pluto coming across that degree. But then there's Saturn, which stabilizes everything, which kind of calms everything down. Uranus and Pluto alone, particularly Uranus, is very volatile. So that supportive aspect is good from Saturn, because change is in the air, according to that area of your chart. Material security area of your chart, but there is also this underlying, maybe it's a plan B, whatever it is, stability. And that, as I say, will unpackage itself over the coming month. Now, if you happen to know where your planets are, then or indeed the Sun or the rising sign or other important points, this is happening between 15 and 23 degrees of wherever. So remember to be flexible and adaptable. Your sign's pretty good at that. And whatever you do, don't be hasty. This is the thing about a Uranian theme. It's very progressive. There are progressive trends coming in, but it can also mean that we act too soon. And I wouldn't this month, really, not unless if you can help it, because we have, as I said, Mars very close by degree to Neptune, and we also have Jupiter very close by degree to Neptune. So particularly strong in the first half of the month is Mars-Neptune, meaning uncertainty. Haven't gone far enough through the process to be able to make an informed decision, or be able to take an action, or be able to sort of cast my vote, or whatever. And now, a way that it can work with Mars-Neptune is that you really are understanding that something is way more important than your little personal desires, and you are putting those on one side in order to be of service, in order to be a practical help. But don't go over the top. Don't become a martyr. Just because Neptune is very lacking in boundaries, so there is often this feeling of obligation, maybe, and not quite knowing where to draw the line. You see, there's that kind of thing going on with that. But somebody may need to lean on you a bit more, or you can be the one that's leaning on them, because the energy hasn't got an opinion which way it's flowing around here, so it can be coming towards you, or it can be coming through you. And then the other one, as I mentioned, is stronger in the second half of the month. So as the first one, Mars-Neptune, wanes, the second one, Jupiter-Neptune, gets strong. And this idea of uncertainty, confusion, who to follow, who to believe. If somebody's trying to promote something, a kind of bigging themselves up, plugging something, if somebody's trying to convince you of something, or if the circumstances seem to be one way, but actually possibly they're not. So what you've got to be doing, I think, really all month is trying to get that clarity and trying to separate the real from the ideal. And easier for someone to pull the wool over our eyes at this time. And that's this, this is vibrational weather across the planet. But in your case here, this will be somebody, an opposite number, somebody that maybe you have a relationship with. And this can be, a short-term relationship where you're making cups of tea for a plumber or coffee or whatever. So it can be like a really fleeting, but it's more likely to be a longer-term one. But it can be either, really. And then you have to be a little bit more sensing and intuiting your way forwards. But if it looks like a duck, quacks like a duck, then it's likely to be a duck. And just keep away from dodgy schemes and dodgy people. Or maybe it's not quite as much as that. Maybe it's just somebody who doesn't realize how much time of yours they're taking. Or maybe you're not realizing how much time you're taking of theirs. Or maybe they don't realize how much is going on in the background. Or maybe you don't realize how much is going on in the background. So we have to be compassionate, really, with Neptune around. But what I'm saying is like, okay, but remember, you do have the right to have certain sort of cut-off point boundaries without being mean. Now, we also have, so try not to be a martyr, as I was saying, try not to sacrifice all, try not to be superhuman, Supergirl, Superman, Superboy. Just be a warts and all human. That will do very nicely, thank you. Possibly even better than superhuman. And then we have Saturn coming in again. This allows for cautious expansion. This is quite a long-running one, actually, the Jupiter-Saturn one. So cautious expansion, understanding that you are in a progressive kind of slipstream here, but you are moving through it not at warp speed. You're moving through it at a steady, step-by-step pace, getting to where you want to go, because you feel as though it's bringing some good. You're not quite sure how it's all going to pan out yet. This is not the month to make major decisions, but it's doing some good, and so you are tentatively hopeful, cautiously hopeful, and take any opportunity to learn stuff, to broaden your horizons mentally and physically. Really, it is a good time to be doing that. So within the parameters of a limiting situation, or within the parameters of rules or restrictions, you can be growing and learning. There's quite a range of options in there for you. Now, late months, transiting Uranus and Pluto connect with transiting Venus, making relationships with others more meaningful. Something can touch your feelings. Somebody can sway your feelings, can move you. And also the other way around, you're more likely to be able to do that. Maybe there is more involvement, deeper, more profound connecting with somebody. Maybe it's a major moment of transition. It could be change. Change. Going from one stage to another. Going from one kind of level to another. It can be a little bit like that. But overall, it is a progressive phase. That's how I'm reading that. So, the uncertainty, and also Neptune, with a lot of Neptune around, that is connected to drugs and alcohol, or anything which kind of allows us to escape the harsh reality of everyday life. So it can be connected to other things like beautiful art and music and meditation and spiritual practices as well, not just drugs and alcohol. As a lifestyle choice, I think I'll go with spiritual practices personally. Might not be so colourful, but I think it doesn't have such a heavy tax on it. Now, now we have this emphasis on this sort of practical area, and conversations about that revolving around material matters, and then Mercury moves out of there on the 6th and then goes into a very chatty, sociable area, mixing and mingling. But like I said, there could have been more paperwork, sharing stuff, connecting with people. And Venus is in your sign. So Venus has been in your sign over much of March and is now in your sign until the 6th, supporting a more gregarious, sociable mood, meaning that you come across to others in a more attractive, persuasive, charming, of course, just kind of, shining up that charming side of you. And this can boost the love life, but also it can just mean that you are again mixing and mingling in a more easily, reaching out more easily, because you are quite a private sign. You're not always got that kind of enter open on your door. You've often flipped it around to close because you need your privacy. I mean, it's not a choice. So could be goodies in the pipeline coming your way, or it could mean you're putting your hand in your pocket more. But this is a time to be a bit more self-indulgent, I think. And then, of course, it is your it has just been your birthday month, so we can extend that a little bit. But this is in this is in the first part. So yeah, this is so close, so close. And then Venus moves into an area where you definitely can be self-indulgent. You can get out there, hit the streets and do some retail therapy. Know what's good for you. And overall, it means that financial negotiations, you could get yourself a bargain. Tending in that direction. Also, it's a good time for buying, selling, renting, leasing, applying for funding. And Venus does tend to ease things materially there. Or it might be easing things between you and it might mean that things are eased because you are buddying up, you're teaming up, you've got a pal, you've got a mate, you've got, you feel as though you're sharing there somehow or other. Or it might not be that you've decided to do it, maybe it just is that way. Because of somebody else's input, you are benefiting in some material way, whether that's with financially, but any kind of resource. And also Venus here means that you should be using your own resource and capitalizing on them, and that would be your assets, whatever your assets are. Work them. And now we have, and I mean inborn talents as well as the external ones. We have Mars. Mars is in a long transit at the top of your chart. And this is going to be good for you. And Saturn's up there as well. Going to be good for you at the moment. Really, sort of revving up that rather slow, quite heavy Saturn energy. Doesn't have to be so heavy it's painful. But when Mars comes along, he likes to speed things up and get things going and kind of initiate, So Mars there will stimulate the area which is connected to authority figures, also parents. It's also connected to your goals and ambitions and your authority in the world and your role and your image, and you having to take more responsibility for your life direction. No more pussyfooting around. This is the way I want to be going now. And over this transit, you feel the need to work on reputation, maybe having to deal more with bureaucracy for some of you. But if you manage to keep your head screwed on and keep cool, calm and collected, then you will make progress with the master plan. You just put that energy out there and just, if you've got to jump through a couple of hoops, then so what, you jump through them, and that's life. But Mars here will mean that you will be able to, there's more of a spring in your step with Mars there. However, there can be a little bit of resistance coming as well. Maybe it's a timing thing. It could be like that. From the 20th, the Sun goes into the same busy, sociable, mixing and mingling area as Mercury. So they'll be putting more of an emphasis on there and less emphasis on the materialistic area. Saturn has returned to the top of your chart, is in there with Mars, as I've just said, and this is the time of the harvest. This is the time for everything that's gone before. You begin to reap those from those seeds sown so many years before. And as I've said before, if you look back 29 years or maybe 14 and a half years, you get an idea of what was happening then and what might now be unfolding. You Pisceans born from the 4th to the 7th of March with 14 to 17 degrees rising will feel this energy the most this forecast period. And that is an area we could take on more responsibility because of authority figures, but also because of your own goals and ambitions, taking them more seriously. Also possibly to do with parents as well. So, yeah, Pisceans born from the 4th to the 7th of March with 14 to 70 degrees rising, right? Now, we have Jupiter opening the way to a wider range of options via close personal and professional alliances. So just because of certain key associations, your horizons are going to broaden. You are going to grow in your experience. And maybe in your opportunities. Opportunities could be coming your way because of somebody that you know. And it could be sort of a slew of opportunities. So you need to separate, really, the wheat from the chaff and decide which are the ones that you want to take up and which, which you just let go by you. But you will be learning an awful lot, and there could be a teacher there for you as well, a very, very profound, it could be profound. It depends on what stage you're at in life and which way you're looking. But if you're looking for a profound teacher, then you could be getting one with Jupiter here, and Jupiter's going to be there until September. Pisceans born the 2nd to the 6th of March with 12 to 16 degrees rising, going to feel that energy the most, and Neptune, of course, is in your sign. Don't let others drain you. Don't be the prop that others are leaning on. However, having said that, it's more likely that you are going to find yourself in a situation a little bit more often where that type of person that needs that support that you can facilitate is going to be there, as long as you do feel as though you are being of service and you're not just being like a public leaning post. A PLP. Could be a political party, couldn't it? The PLP. But no, public leaning post. And the other way around as well, you being the one that's doing the leaning. If there's some good coming from it, then all well and good, but if it's kind of gone stagnant, then maybe not. Or maybe it's just played out to the end of its reel, as it were. Or unreal. You Pisceans born the 29th of February. Yes, it's a leap year this year. Did you know? The 29th of February, 28th, 29th. It'll be, the 28th of February, or the 29th, or indeed it'll be the 1st of March, to the 2nd of March, or with 10 to 12 degrees rising, so that would be the 2nd to the 3rd of March. So if you're born, if you're born around then, so it'll, with 10 to 12 degrees rising, you'll be feeling that energy the most. And that's it. This is written up on DianaGarland.com. The bones of it anyway. And if you know your rising sign and your moon sign, listen to those. And I'll see you the next time.